All righty. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is Lyne't. Lyne't Grace. Y'all got to excuse me. I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties today. This is Lyne't with the Lyne't Grace Show here on KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's first global community radio station. Today, I'm thinking I'm having a whole lot of issues today because I have a really, really serious topic that we are going to discuss what is going on. I'm still on Zoom, but for some reason my Zoom disappeared. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, let me calm. Let me meditate for a little bit. Okay, so hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is Lyne't with the Lyne't Grace Show here on KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's first global community radio station. You're most likely listening to the Lyne't Grace Show on KUAW-radio on Facebook or KUAW on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TuneIn app, and Patreon, Periscope. I might seem a little bit frazzled today because I've been helping someone dear to my heart. And it's been a couple of days situation. That's the reason why we're having this show today. And I've been saying this, anybody who follows me on my page, you know I've been saying this for the longest. We're going to go to Dos Minutos with Jorge, and he's going to introduce our guest. But our show today is about men's mental health. This is a serious topic. This is something that needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed now. It needs to not just be addressed, but it needs to be an ongoing addressing. We women, and I will say this before I pass it over to my son, Jorge, women have all the resources in the world. We can go on Facebook, we can find help. We can walk down the street. Literally, every time you turn into a shopping center parking lot, there is resources for women. You can find them. Any shopping center. There's something, some flyers, something. But who heals and helps our men? So that's going to be our topic for today. You're going to see me black my camera out while my son Jorge Fuller is speaking, but I will bring it back in. I'm not being rude. I just don't want people thinking I'm not listening because I'll be doing some things with the show on my laptop. All righty, George, I'm passing it over to you.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Jorge Fuller. It is not about how you say it, it is about how you spell it. I am representing Jorge Fuller or Jorge Fuller for the people. Tonight, I get to give you Dos Minutos with Jorge. I'm going to just share a little bit about what's happening with me. Technically, this is week 7 of a 7-week certification program that I've been doing with diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace. I am one of 140,000 individuals from 9 different countries taking the opportunity to get certified in diversity, equity, and inclusion within the workplace. And I didn't do it by myself. I brought other people with me because I believe when we start talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, we're talking about doing work. We're not just talking and making a simple gesture. So this is out of USF, I'm about to say the wrong, University of Southern Florida out of Tampa. They offer this for free. So this was a free opportunity. I took advantage of it. When it comes around again, I will share because I do believe the program does give you wisdom and nuggets to help you grow, not only in diversity, but inside of business as well. The other topic is that if you are not on the newsletter for your House of Representative person, please just email their office and say, hey, can you put me on a newsletter? Because most House of Representatives send out a weekly newsletter saying what is being passed, what is being talked about, and what is happening. I will be uploading within the next couple of days just a weekly newsletter for Representative Sharp, as he represents the area that I would be representing if I was running for Missouri State Senate District 7. So it's the same exact area. We want to make sure that everyone understands what is actually happening in the House so that we can't just feel like we're hoodwinked, bamboozled, and they're doing things without our say, because our vote is technically the reason why they're there. Now, tonight we have a special guest. As you can see, the most suave profile picture that I've seen. I might even pause my video just so I can say I'm halfway GQ with the brother. This is a brother that I met with Brothers Liberating Our Community Block. He did a presentation about mental health and mental health awareness. He is an educator within the Kansas City area. He is a complete, when I say complete, knockout when it comes to everything that he does. He puts in 110% of his energy, time, and commitment. I will say this. Some things that I read on his website that I'm going to read out to you all. But if you are looking, I just want you to go to his website because I'm going to let him share what that is. It says it was officially founded as a means to create experiences where passion, power, and purpose bind together. We commit ourselves to offering motivational support, life coaching, and life changing experiences. This combined to help to reduce the work burnout, interpersonal conflicts, and day-to-day stress. Through this program, it is used as an avenue to teach those we serve lifelong fitness practices, respect of self and others, and how to be a positive contributor to society, feeling validated while doing it. And I'm not mentioning what this is because I really want this person to share because I promise you this program, even though I have yet to take advantage of it, I will. You can hold me to it. I will be trying to bring a group of folks too. I actually get to participate in an event this upcoming Thursday that has been donated as an appreciation to teachers at Whittier Elementary. So if those of you are asking, does he give back? He absolutely does. And if you are interested in joining and following him, follow his page. Brother Richie Cherry, can you share what your business is? How does it connect to mental health and what inspires you to do it?
Man, thank you so much, Jorge, for having me on. Thank you all for listening in. Yes, my business, my platform is called Box Out, and that's boxing out stress. I'm a former boxer, and I'm also a former school counselor. And I decided to combine both of my passions to bring therapy to the masses in a sense, right? And I wanted something to be I wanted to be unstructured. Um, I know within the Black community per se, we don't like to go see therapy. We don't like to go to someone because we are looked at, or we may be looked at as weak. Um, and so because of my battles with mental health and coming from a community, I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois, where it's just plagued with violence, it's plagued with corruption and different things of that nature. I decided to do something strictly unstructured and bring a platform to people to help them with stress. So if you go to my website, which is boxoutstress.com, you will see in the header that we talk it out first, right? I feel that we as people don't do enough of talking things out with one another. And that's why we see violence, especially within the Kansas City metropolitan areas and other surrounding urban areas as well. We see violence played in our cities because people just don't know how to talk it out. So I do that, and then to motivate you, right? To get you to have a physical component to it as well. I tie in boxing. I teach you the skills that I've once learned to help people with fitness. But most importantly, I want you to box out the stress in your mind. We understand that we can't do it. We can't get to anything if our minds aren't clear. And so that's what I bring to the box out platform.
I thank you for that. Now, you said something, first off, so you understand, you clearly, when you said East St. Louis, you clearly, we've all known East St. Louis had the violence that Kansas City has since the early. East St. Louis been having it for years. And so you understand having to deal with the stress of wanting to make it to the next day, even if you're an innocent person, having to go to work and deal with the stress of being a Black man, having to, you all, and I will say this, and I say this to many people as a 20-year lady truck driver, a female truck driver. When you witness the amount of stress that Black men go through just to make it through the day, you then begin to understand and really start to push for mental health services. Here's the question I have for you, Mr. Cherry. Like you said, Black people, Black women are more going to go get the mental health. But Black people, Black men, they don't trust mental health. They don't. What goes on in my house stays in my house. What goes on in my mind, I always say with Black men is what goes on in my mind stays in my mind. I have to present this strong front, and I can't let anybody see my weakness. And so, in having your business and your organization, how do you get the men to open up and to speak with you? And first, before you answer that, if you work with any other organizations or anything, let us know about those as well, because we want to get as much help out here as possible. But how do you get the men to actually open up in order to heal? We can't. I always tell, and I have 5 sons, so this is passionate to my heart. 5 birth sons, and then I have 8 sons, because including George and Desmond and Sammy. So how do you get the men to open up and let you know what's going on to heal them, so you know what you're dealing with?
Well, I appreciate you asking that question. I don't look at myself as a healer. I don't look at my platform as a healer. I look at it as I look at it as a support, right? The way men or anybody open up in this platform is strictly by me being genuine with them first. I bring my authentic self, right? But I bring my experiences, the same experiences that many of us, have coming up in the inner cities. And I think that is the key. The key to having anybody open up is to be yourself, to be open, to be raw. And I bring that within this platform. People are able to talk out their feelings because I give them that platform. I give them a platform to where they know for a fact that when they share, their feelings are going to be validated. And that's another part that we don't do well within our communities. We don't validate people's feelings. And a wise person once told me, and I think this was my grandmother. She said, "Baby, you don't get to choose how you hurt somebody, right?" And so we never understand. I'm sorry if I bleeded out. Someone was trying to call, but we never understand that uh, we don't get to choose how we hurt people. So therefore, when we don't validate people's feelings, there that's when we get conflict. That's when we get those issues. And so I just offer people the opportunity to truly be themselves.
I truly appreciate that. And when you said validate people's feelings, that is one of the things when I was just discussing with someone a couple of days ago, and he was talking to me about, and people say, "Oh, you should never talk to nobody outside of your marriage about your marriage." Here's the thing: be very, very careful. But he knows that I'm one of those people. I don't play with marriage. You're not going. I always say I'm too pretty to be a side chick, so we can hang that thought up. But but he was trying to explain to his wife, and like I said, oftentimes we women get the understanding, we get the ear, we have people willing to help us. And he was trying to explain to her what life is like, what life is going through, what he's going through. And he said he felt like everything he said was, "Oh, but you're a man, you can deal with it. You're a man, you need to deal with it." And so in validating the feelings, I know you cannot do your program here, but in order to help even parents or significant others or moms or siblings who have, because this is a hard time for Black men. I mean, it was years ago. And then y'all had somewhat of a stretch of a break because there was not as much recording of the action. So it wasn't such trauma of seeing this stuff replayed in your face day after day after day after day. I had an experience today with a highway patrolman, and the highway patrolman was so gentle with me as he was dealing with me, only because I'm pretty sure he understands the climate of the Black people and police. So if you can explain to us simple methods of just allowing Black men to be heard. What do we just, because I get to the point sometimes I just sit and listen and I don't say anything, and they'll say, "Are you there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here." But then after that, then what? Because sometimes talking it out is good, but some of this stuff out here, talking it out ain't good enough. So what methods can we use as family members instead of saying, "Okay, I heard you, but you need to go do this, that, and the other. You need to go seek help." How can we keep them in, like you said, by validating their feelings and being genuine and authentic? How can we keep them to the point where we can actually suggest and they receive the suggestion of mental health assistance?
Well, I mean, and that's a mouthful, honestly. Is it Lyne't or Lyne't? Lyne't, right?
Lyne't, I'm sorry.
Lyne't, I'm so sorry. Okay. Lyne't, so that is honestly a mouthful. I feel like that, and we've always heard this, like when people are ready, when they're ready to receive something on their own, then they will, then they would naturally do it, right? Um, I think the most important thing that we can do for people is truly love them when they're going through it. For instance, I say that because my mom has been on drugs for as long as I can remember. She was since I was little, you know what I'm saying? And so my mom she's always had this issue of being judged in a sense, right? And so as I got older and I started to learn about mental health and how it affects, not only I'm sorry, I got to cut out. I'm sorry, I got cut out.
That's being a
Can you
father
hear me?
first. That's what I love right there. That's you can have him on camera.
Yeah. So I've had to allow her to be who she was, right? Because I understand circumstances help shape those mental issues that we all go through sometimes. And so when I say let people, truly be themselves, I had to let her be the drug addict that she was. And I know that's sometimes hard, right? It is extremely hard for us to allow that. But when I was able to allow her to be that person, she was able to be real with me. She was no longer lying to me about being a drug addict. It was like, okay, I said, "Mom, look, I love you for who you are, and that's all that matters. My love for you will never change. And you don't never have to lie to me." Sometimes we just have to offer the love from that lens, not trying to support them, right? Because if we're loving them, the support is going to be there. Now, would I give my mom $100 and tell her to go do what she want with it? No. But what I will do is I would take my mom out to dinner, or I would buy my mom something nice. We can support from different lenses without supporting the habit or the disabling condition that they all share. So I think just being aware of being with them. I want people to learn this. To be aware is to have strength. When you're aware of certain things, then that's strength, and you can get help from that, right? You can receive the help from that because you are aware. So from this point on, I don't want people to think of helping. I don't want people to think that by helping, by telling people they need to seek help, that they're helping them. No, what we do is we no different than what we do with our kids. We model, what I'm saying, the expectation. If you're a good person, a person will follow that. A person would truly follow that. But as it relates to addiction, that is something that is extremely hard, and people have to be really, really willing to seek that service, to seek treatment and different things of that nature on their own. But they just need love and the guidance from their loved ones.
I like that. I appreciate that that answer. You said the most important thing we can do with people is truly love them. I think we step out of the space of love and start trying to help and start trying to heal instead of, like you said, just letting them know that they're in a safe space to be authentically who they are, and it just might help them heal. It just might not, but just understand that that's who they are. Another thing you said that I wrote down is to be aware is to have strength. And so that is a powerful statement that I've not heard. So you might want to copyright that. But to be aware is to have strength. And that, this is helping tremendously, because I'm pretty sure there are other women who will say the same thing right now, is we want to know how to help our Black men. And whether it's addiction, it's funny that's I always say that spirit, that's God, because he started speaking on addiction. And addiction, I'm seeing it from 2 or 3 different angles now, and it seems to be the one thing that will drag our Black men under and beat them, and they seem not to be able to pull out of it. They just get worse and worse and worse. And so I thank you for saying, when you started out, you said, I'm not trying to heal them. That was a powerful statement. And I hope everybody caught what he said. Because when we have loved ones, the first thing we try to do is we try to heal them. We want them better. We want them the way we feel like they should be. Drag our Black men instead of loving them, and they, despite what we think they're doing wrong, we love them, but we don't love the addict in them, or we feel like, oh, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. But when you said to be aware is to have strength, that just really caught me. And like I said, you need to copyright that, because somebody's gonna try to take that, put it on the shirt, put it on everything. So you get to copywriting that sometime this week. But in all of the trauma, where does the conversation begin? Because here's my issue. I was just literally looking down my Facebook groups, and I see nothing that I could find that speak to Black men's health, mental health. I see so many, I think, and I was writing as you were talking, I think I counted 75, I stopped counting, I was doing them in 10, groups for women. Does it start with giving you all your own space on places like Facebook and things like, because I love the fact that we have a comedian here, Bobby J. Coleman. And Bobby J. Coleman throws out some of the craziest statuses, but there's statuses where he'll say something about a Black woman. And to me, it's more like fishing out the Black men and the issues that they've had in relationships and with parenting and with marriage and with divorce and things of that nature. And when you see some of the hurt that is poured out on that page in the comment section, you realize that it is a really serious problem that we're dealing with mental health for Black men, with issues of the men, great dads who are just going through divorce, and the wife is taking the kids, and either she done ran across country with him, or she done hid an apartment in the same city, and she won't let him know where his kids are, but dads love their kids just as much as moms do. And so in dealing with things like that, when you move away from addiction, but you get into, which should not be everyday problems, but they are everyday problems. They should not be. Men should not have to deal with their children that they love, care for, been there for, being snatched away from them. I know you can't tell us how to help, but what would be something that, because George and I discussed the whole child support thing and getting a lawyer and this and the other, but how would you suggest the men handle, the pressure of that? Because some men, I know a man, he's very dear to my heart. He's a brother. He folded. He got a divorce from his wife. His wife took his kids, and he was on top of the world, and then he just quit. He lives in income-based housing. He doesn't get a Social Security check. He just barely exists. So how do you stop men from, and George, I'm gonna let you answer, where do we help? You said don't help, don't heal, but just love. But in that instance, what can we do? Because I'm here for answers. I'm here to listen. I'm here to learn from Black men what needs to be done.
And that's a good, that's,
and I wanted to say, because there's so I'm gonna tie it in. First things first, if you are a male educator, you need to be looking in conscious discipline, that curriculum for behavior, for disciplining, one, changing your mindset around the term discipline.
Mhm.
Not a consequence. It is not the repercussions of an action. It is the practice thereof, right? And so getting that change in your mindset that you have conditioned and disciplined yourself to do a certain thing. When it comes to Black men, we have been conditioned and disciplined to think we have to be this macho or machismo, as my brown brothers would say, this figure that nothing ever breaks through and penetrates. Within conscious discipline, you first learn to deal with your inherent feelings, understanding where your mind frame is. Are you in your survival realm, right? Fight, flight, or freeze? Are you in your emotional realm, where you are just feeling things and you have to acknowledge your emotions? Or are you in your executive realm? You can make those decisions, right? And we understand that these are three realms, but while learning this curriculum, you learn about how to apply it to yourself, because you can't say, I'm gonna do this with my students without actually applying it to yourself. So then once you apply it to self and practice it, you're able to then apply it to your students. Now you're engaging young Black males to be able to do this regardless of the situation. Another part is there is a Black male LPC, licensed practicing counselor, psychiatrist. It's so many letters behind his name that I'm going to shout out beyond brother Richie Sherry, because Richie Sherry specifically states, like, I'm not here to help you. We're going to talk. We're going to work it out. We're going to box it out. But Stefan Staley, when I say this brother, Steffon Staley, Stefan Staley will connect with you on such a level to where you are not going to be walking out of that room without having dealt with your issues. And that's what it is. You have to have this moment to deal with your issues. What I love about Richie Sherry is because me and him have connected in so many ways prior to this year. I did conscious discipline. One of the things in conscious discipline is create a rage space, create a space so that you can get those physical emotions out, right? I taught my students to hit the punching bag instead of hitting another student. Come in, you got to go ahead. Then I put a foam wall together. I made it so that they utilize that frustration that was coming out physically anyway, those emotions that were coming out at that point, and put it in a more constructive way. The other part is that when you get the chance to see it, they tire themselves out to be able to then get out of that survival state, that fight state, to get back into that emotional state. They hold that real, authentic, vulnerable, transparent conversation. That's what you get to go into when you go into box out. You get to have that real, authentic, vulnerable conversation. And I promise you, everybody that I've heard in the comments and reviews that you see, they have the conversation before, they have the conversation during, and probably afterwards they tired, they still authentically speaking, because Brother Cherry ain't just gonna kick you out. But they are leaving it all out, and once that is out, you don't just pick it up and put it back in. And that's the thing about Black men. We don't just pick it up and put it back in. Once it's out, it's out. Now, the next step, if you're like, oh, this is, I got it out, but I don't know how to deal with it, I don't know where to go, find you a practicing person. Go to a person. Stefan Staley is Black. I promise you, Kansas City, he's here. He's local. You do not have to run from him. So you got two options right here. Matter of fact, I would tell you to do box out and Stephon Staley if you having those really traumatic incidents, because it is trauma that we're dealing with. It is trauma that we have to face. Go to both of them and then start solving your issues. Because if we had this talking first mentality, right? We wouldn't be as violent, or we wouldn't be acting out our emotions in a violent manner, because we are now in survival, a fight, versus being able to get back to our executive selves and be able to come to the table as men. We wouldn't be in the same issue. And that's the thing. And we have to define what it is to be a true man versus saying the image that someone else placed for us. I just wanted to jump in, and so I'm throwing it back to Brother Sherry, because I know he has preached so much of this prior to, and I've listened to him regardless of it.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I was just over here like glued in. I was all in that. Uh, but I mean, back to that, man. You know, how do we get support for, you know what I'm saying, men that are going through issues of not seeing their kids, and what type of supports can we do for those? I honestly would say this: we need to do more of having support groups, having, you know what I'm saying, having more round tables with men. Every time I have a gathering at my house, man, I'm always, or anytime I'm in the comfort, I mean the presence of men, I'm always talking about real issues. I'm always getting them to express the real issues, because society has always allowed us, right, or made us suppress those feelings. And so I'm always getting brothers to say, you know what, man, look, what are you really going through? What's something that what is a stress? And that's how I started off. What stress are you really going through? And there's a wise saying out there that each one reach one. Once one person starts, then everybody starts. So we need to have a platform. There needs to be multiple support groups out here. And they don't have to be formal support groups. They could be, you know, like I said, gatherings, parties. You know what I'm saying? We need to talk about these issues in any type of platform. I mean, any type of setting. Affirming, right? We have to give Black men affirmations, right? We have to give them affirmations that they can have, that can speak to their life. With the box out platform, you get an affirmation each time you come. So something you might be going through something different. So right now, the affirmation is, whatever you do, do it with purpose, on purpose. That's my affirmation to everybody that is listening in. If you're going through something right now, do it on purpose, with purpose. Okay? And that's how you can start to feel liberated from whatever you're going through. So let's do it with purpose.
I love that. I was writing it down right as you stopped talking. Whatever you do, do it with purpose, on purpose. That is powerful. I just want to thank y'all, because this conversation is not often had, and it's not often had on such a open platform. I'm going to read some comments. Daniel Davis is watching. Thank you so much. Actually, Daniel Davis has provided me with my wardrobe today, Positive Energy. I keep telling y'all, he makes some of the softest, amazing clothing, and his is I call it a high-end sportswear line, because it's very high-end clothing. And I want to thank Daniel, because Positive Energy for him is not just a brand, or it's a lifestyle. It's not just a brand or a movement. It is life. And he has spoken openly about dealing with a negative mindset. And so he had to change his mindset and change his being. Miss Athena Rice, she said, I'm a mental health nurse. We thank you for your service. And she said, I love that we as a people are talking about this. Love this. And then, hey, Ishan, that is the love of my life, Isaac Ishan. I'm just letting everybody know. I quit running, quit putting him through a whole bunch of stuff. But thank you, and I love you. Thank you for watching this. And hopefully you get something from this as well. But you said whatever you do, do it with purpose, do it on purpose, and do it with purpose. I wrote that down. It seems as though, and I will say this, It seems as though our Black men start with such authenticity to get it done, to change, to do things. And then it seems as though the pressures of life pull them right back to where they started. And I see a lot of Black men keep restarting. They don't give up, but it's like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. They keep moving forward, but certain things come about. Um, I'm going to ask you, Mr. Sherry, what can you said, and I wrote that down, you said y'all need more support groups, and it don't have to be formal. It could just be, get-togethers, cookouts, things like that. Um, and see, that's what Black men need to see, what we just saw on camera when your baby came in and gave you your kisses. That's powerful. You get what I'm saying? Those are images that need to be shown. That's powerful. And I'm so glad we captured that on my show. Thank you. But it's a powerful image. But besides the support groups, and you said they don't have to be formal, it could just be a get together, and men get to talking about having open dialogue with each other. What else can be done? And explain to those who are not as well versed with as you are with mental health, how they can start approaching. Do the wives need to just make up or girlfriends or mamas or whatever, do we need to just make up a big old spread and leave y'all with the TV remotes and leave the house while y'all just have the house to yourself? What do we need to do to make sure that y'all have that space to be able to be open and be vulnerable with each other, not worry about who's listening or anything like that? What other, you said support groups, and I feel support groups are very, very, very important. But what else needs to be done? And with the support group, what's our best way to help you all get that done?
I'm glad you said that, because I am big on the big A, and that's advocation. Advocate for my mental health, right? When you see platforms such as Box Out on the rise, uh, offer that support. Right now, I'm like a no excuse type of person, because right now every man that's listening on here, every woman, I don't care. You are a man in a sense, right? You hold that title too. Well, man, a man, right? We are humans, and we all are dealing with certain things, in life. So I am offering right now, if you go to boxoutstress.com and you're in the Kansas City metropolitan area, and you hit the three little slashes at the top, and you hit those three little slashes, you go to the contact session. I'm giving everybody a free session because I truly want you to come and check out the platform for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so that you could be able to advocate for not only for the platform but for mental health. So I think that's the biggest thing right now. We have to be able to offer a support of advocacy, right? So when you see groups, when you see different little business and stuff like that is really pushing mental health, support it. Support it so that we can honestly, go out and reach other men, other people, right? And so that's what it is. If you don't even want to come to my platform, support it by going to get a t-shirt. Just wearing Box Out Stress on your shirt alone is going to solicit some type of questions like, hey, what is that? What is that about? So we need to be walking billboards for mental health platforms. So I think
when you said that, I hate to cut you off. I would like for you to definitely, as you're talking, don't think that it's redundant or anything. I want you to keep repeating the name of your website and the name of your business. And when we go on your website, can we purchase the shirts, or do we have to book a session to go book our free session, and then we can purchase the shirts? Explain us how it works, because I'm willing to do whatever to market and promote and get the information out there. You're welcome to come back on the show as many times as you want. You could tag me in your social media, but this is something that needs to happen. I witnessed, my brother years ago, right after my dad passed on, and he stepped into being the man of the house at 19. I witnessed him almost have a complete mental breakdown because our dad was such an amazing present dad that to lose that was like, oh my gosh, I got to step in and do all of this, you know. So I would like for you to let everybody know how we can purchase, you know, this is so important to me. It really is. And I had a guest that I wanted to have on the show, but he didn't have access to the Zoom. But he's dealing with recovering from addiction. And he became an addict trying to keep up with the pressures of being a successful Black man and trying to prove to people that he's worthy and he's taking care of his family and this, that, and the other. And so it started, like he said, with pills to stay awake or whatever. You go to the doctor and you get pills for energy or whatever. And he became an addict because then he started sleeping pills. And he got on this Elvis cycle where you take pills to go to sleep, you take pills to wake up, then next thing you know, you're just taking pills throughout the day to feel better. You got your antidepressant. And he wound up with 10 different prescriptions, and he realized that he was an addict when he went to say, I'm gonna go cold turkey, and he dumped all the pills in the toilet, and he realized he dumped his pills in the toilet and he was digging his pills out the toilet. And so, you know, this right here for me is very, very, very important, very serious situation. Let us know where we can get the shirts. Let us know when your meetings are. Anything we need to know about you, let us know, because I want our men healed.
That's right. And like I said, please, guys, I want to stress the importance. This is not. I mean, I do this because I love it. Right? It's not a money scheme for me. And we always understand that we have to have money to keep things going within our society. But this is my passion. This is something that I truly want to bring to the masses. I am in a process right now, and God is going to bring it for me. I am trying to launch a gala. I want this gala to be something big, you know what I'm saying, where people can come and they can offer, you know, their sponsorship to it, because I want to get in my own building. I want to have a lot of groups. I want to have large group sessions. Right now, I'm doing small group sessions with people, personal. Like if you have 2 to 3 people that you want to bring to a session, that's perfectly fine. I have the space for that. But I want big group sessions. I want to be able to reach a lot of people. Um, so, well, the way you could support is, like I said again, boxoutstress.com, boxoutstress.com, boxoutstress.com. We want to make it repetitive. Let's be repetitive in this. There is a merchandise. I mean, there is a link on my website that you can go and actually get, you know, a box out shirt of your choice. And let's do that. And also let's do a session. Guess what? A session is only $25. $25 for a session, right? Simple, man. So it's as you can see, we understand that therapy for your insurance is going to run you everywhere from 100 on up, right? Just for a session. I am
Just for a
trying to
session.
take away just for a session. And then it's going to be you're going to be billed out for 6 weeks. This is a use it when you need it platform, right? So I encourage people to give Box Out a try once a week, right? Just to reboot your mental health. This is a motivational platform, so I'm strictly motivating you to live your best day. I didn't say life. I want you to live your best day because we understand that tomorrow is not promised. So yeah, so if you can't support in person, go ahead on and support with a Box Out shirt, and then go to Box Out on Facebook, and just tag it. You know what I'm saying? Tag me in, and let me know that that you were thinking about the platform, and I would truly, truly, truly appreciate.
And you said something that I mean, even everybody
Mhm.
knows me for the show, but then everybody knows me for being transparent because I got this Samoan temper. So,
Be
you know,
transparent. Be transparent.
being transparent. And if I'd have had a gym where I could go box out some stuff, I wouldn't have lost my life from 2017 to 2020.
Facts.
And seriously, and so seriously,
Lyne't, can I say
people.
something?
Uh-huh.
Can I say something? I'm glad you said that. Like, if I had a gym to box out my stress, I truly want this platform to be a first responder to stressful situation, to anxiety, to depression. This is a testament to this platform. Just a week ago, I had a person, I won't disclose their name, but this person showed up to my platform. They called me up. It was 12 o'clock at night. This is how dedicated I am to the platform. This person calls me up, say, Rich, I need you right now, man. I need you right now. And I'm like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I get up out of my bed, open up my gym in a sense, my garage, and I say, come on in. That person comes on in. I'm about to lose. I think I'm about to end it. I'm about to end my life. In that moment, you don't know how to truly respond, right? You don't know how to truly respond. And so what I allowed this person was to do was I allowed that person to express the why, right? Express the why, but ultimately I wanted them to release that on the bag, me, right? So I became this person's punching bag in that moment. I'm an ex-professional fighter. I know how to handle myself, right? That person just wanted to really release. They got the hit in the pads, and then I realized that he just wanted to go ahead on and release it. I got on my gear, I folded up, and I let him hit me. I let him hit me because I knew for a fact he needed that moment before he actually hurted himself or someone else. And so and so I want this platform. It's a raw platform. Be raw. Come and be your true self. Each person that comes, each person I meet, every time I meet a person in person, I ask them this question. I say, do I have the permission to be myself? Ask anybody that. And people always say, yeah, go ahead. You know what? I want you to be your real self. That's the only way. But did you know people that can't handle your real self sometimes? There's a lot of people that can really handle you being real. So I want to get permission first before I truly start to give you the energy I know for a fact is built up inside of me. So, and you got that choice. You should have the choice to have certain energies around you. If you want fake energy around you, then tell a person, no, you know what? I can't handle real. I can't handle real. And I would be that for you. I would be whatever you want me to be for you. If it entails you keeping your mental health. So sometimes you have to water things down for people, and that's
Yeah.
okay. And that's okay. So, I'm just want to be my authentic self at the end of the day. This platform is true. This platform is raw. This platform is authentic.
And
And
I
that's
want to
what it's
thank
all
you
about.
for I want to thank you for, even opening your door, answering your phone that late at night, opening your door and allowing, because one thing a lot of people don't know, and I always tell people this, you know, um, not everybody is peaceful. I always
Facts.
tell people, my coming into this world was violent. It was from the womb. So I'm trained for the violence. It was I was formed in it. So
Mm,
it was hard for me to learn how to handle situations without laying hands and pulling guns and knives, because
mhm.
that was who I was. And then
That's
the
the norm.
foundation, yeah, my family's foundation, they knew the women for carrying guns and stuff like that. So, and the men were even worse. So
Mhm,
to be able to, it took me a while to come to this calm place where I could walk away.
mhm.
But I didn't have, if I'd have had, and my oldest son, he went to the military, and when he came back from basic, he was so like chill. You know what I'm saying? And you would think him going to the military and learning to shoot guns and learning to fight. And he said, Mom, he said, they taught us to address a threat. And when you address a credible threat, that's when you neutralize a credible threat. He said, I let people talk. He said, if you're gonna
Yes.
pull a gun, then that would be the problem.
Yeah.
But that
And
was one of
but Lyne't, I really truly feel, and I've always learned this since an early age, honestly. A lot of things can truly be solved with the conversation. That's why
true.
I start off with the talk out, right? I want because, what you realize is that when you allow people to talk, sometimes they can arrive at their own solution, right? When sometimes they can arrive at their own apology, right? They can arrive at that when you allow them to express themselves without interrupting, right? I have no problem with telling the black man. I have no problem with telling any man for that nature, I'm wrong, man. You know what? I'm sorry. You know what? I said some, my bad. I have no problem with doing that. And that's what we need more of people saying, you know what, I'm going to step outside of myself. And I'm going to be apologetic towards the situation because I done something to you that 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 caused you to be in this riffraff, right? So
Right.
we just need to start validating people more with conversation. That's it. You
I
know,
like that.
that's pretty much it.
I like that because I had an it wasn't even an incident, but my neighbor she's one of those people who I feel she needs to be at boxoutstress.com. She needs to
Well,
be
you need
there.
well, you
And
need
I will definitely go over there and let
to
her know. And she, it was a parking situation. I asked her and she blew up. And I just looked at her and walked away. Before we had an incident where like my daughter literally was like, no, my mom's gonna kill somebody. And so, but I learned and I had to work this out. You get what I'm saying? I had to figure this out. But so it's beautiful. They have boxoutstress.com that they can go there. But I went to talk to her a couple of weeks ago or last month about parking. She blew up on me. I just looked at her, turned around, went back to my house. And like you said, if you give people time, they may come to their own conclusion. Because I was parking, I came home in the middle of the day in my truck and she comes walking up to my truck and she was talking to me. She said, I just want to apologize to you for blowing up on you the way I did. She said, I knew that wasn't right and this and the other, but I was just going through so much. And then when you came to the door, everything just exploded. And I told her, I said, I didn't take it serious. I know everybody's going through something, I ain't gonna take it serious.
facts.
And
Hello, growth.
yeah, growth.
Hello,
My
growth.
kids got some stories about my growth that I'm grateful for. I am
And,
grateful,
and I
but I'm
and I
still going
commend
to
you.
utilize boxoutstress.com.
Please do.
Go ahead.
Please. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate y'all bringing me on this platform today. I was actually out at my son's football practice, and I'm like, you know what? I'm about to have this conversation right now. I don't care where we are, and that's the beauty of being unstructured, right? When we're dealing with mental health, hey, it's
Yes,
like no matter where we are, I got time today.
absolutely. And I understand because I did a show from picking up my son from his track practice. So
Yeah,
hey, that's what parenting is about. This is the Lyne't Gray Show, and I want to thank you so much, Richie. Is it Sherry or Cherry?
it's cherry like the fruit. No homo.
Okay, Richie Cherry, I want to thank you with boxoutstress.com. Today we discussed Black men's mental health, but not just Black men's mental health in general. But I want y'all to take away that he said, to love them. Don't try to heal them. Love them. Be authentic. Allow them to be who they are, and they will open up to you. And then he said the most important thing to be aware is to have strength. Um, I just thank you. And you said you want to get a gala and you absolutely want to have your own boxing gym and you want to have a bigger space. So, hey, y'all, anybody who knows anybody who can offer him a bigger space or a place where he can expand, boxoutstress.com. Y'all can get in contact with Ricky Sherry. Go to boxoutstress.com. Let him know. If you got to, you can contact Lyne't Gray Show. You can send an email to KUAW at gmail.com and talk about Box Out Stress, and we will get it to Ricky Sherry. But let's start supporting this because our Black men need mental health. They need mental health. They need their minds to be strengthened. They need growth like they need the air to breathe. So this is the Lyne't Gray Show with Jorge Fuller, Fuller for the People, and Ricky Sherry, boxoutstress.com. And we want to thank you, Mr. Walker, for keeping the show on air during this period of time. We thank you so much. We appreciate all you do. And we will see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time here on the Lyne't Gray Show. Please share this show, like, share, and let everyone know this is the show to watch. and hopefully around the world. Hopefully we can get some mental health going in Africa as well, because it's a lot of Black men over there who are suffering as well. The effects of colonialism has caused great mental health issues over there. Y'all take care. Love y'all. Joy, love, peace, happiness, health, wealth, well